Hi, this is Saraya Tanner again, and I'm doing the second video for our assignment this week. To preface the video, I wanted to explain why I chose the topic of SQL Server Database Administration Checklist. So I got the idea from one of the suggestions. Um, and when I first started this degree, I thought I wanted to be mainly a programmer because there's someone in my family who's a programmer who's really good at it, and I wanted to learn, and I am learning a lot. But the last couple of semesters, I've really felt like I should be pursuing databases as my primary field of study. So that's why the idea of a daily checklist for database administrators was interesting to me. So let me share my PowerPoint. Okay, so this is the Database Administration Daily Checklist. It's important to note that databases vary depending on the size, the company. So the slideshow represents different methods that can be used, but it depends on the company that you're working for. So daily checklists are essential to the role. Backups was the main one they listed. Check to make sure everything you ran was done correctly. Nightly processing, you're going to review what was changed during those processing hours, and those hours should be set up to run during downtime. So it's quite frequent to have these backups done when people aren't at the office or there's no one working like midnight, 4 a.m. Um, I read that you can stagger the time so you're not asking too much of the system at the same time. A SQL Server error log. Look for successful or failed logins that occurred to make sure no breaches were initiated. There's the Windows event log. You can view the application event log to see if there were any errors, hardware errors that were written. SQL Server agent jobs. Check to see if there are any failed SQL Server agent jobs. That would be a good thing to be aware of. HA or DR logs. You want to check both of those. The performance logs, you want to review the metrics to see if there were any slow points during the day that need to be seen to. Make sure there's not a hiccup in the program. Security logs, make sure that its security is functioning properly and there are no security threats. The centralized error handling is if your system has this application, because not all systems do, make sure to check it for any unexpected errors. For storage, make sure there's sufficient storage for the database and backups for the entire day while everyone's working. Service broker, check the transmission and user-defined views to make sure data is processing correctly. Part of being an administrator in that position is corrective actions. So if you need to talk to an employee because there was an error or something got flagged, you need to take the initiative and correct those actions so that they don't continue. Improvements, you can analyze your checks and see if improvements can be made. And then this last one, I'm really glad they added this to the list. Learn something new every day. And I remember the video that they made us watch this week for part of our schoolwork was that YouTuber, and he said it's ever, ever learning. You work at it, you work hard, you better yourself, you gain new knowledge, you gain new skills, and it's something that you have to be strict with yourself so that you can just keep getting better and better. So because of that, this next slide is that I learned something new today. I read the material and I didn't understand what HA and DR was referring to. So I Googled it because Google is my friend, and high availability logs means that SQL Server instances of databases will be available and reachable with the least possible downtime in case of a server crash or failure. Now, both of these quotes were pulled up on Google. but there was no author listed. So the DR logs is a disaster recovery. So it's to provide service continually in case of geographical disasters by recovering or reserving the services from a geographically different location. DR can be either located in one or more locations in addition to the primary locations. And those are both really important. So I'm glad I learned about them, and I learned something new today. Thanks for watching.